I mean, I'd probably lean towards Carlos and Novak.
He never lost a set.
And now all of a sudden he's got a walkover and he has a fresh body.
And just get ready to go for these last 3 matches if he can do it.
Once again, Novak Djokovic finds himself deep into the Australian Open, a familiar position on a stage where he has built an almost untouchable legacy. The early rounds may have featured a few tense moments, brief lapses, and flashes of vulnerability, but as the tournament has unfolded, Djokovic has quietly reasserted control. Now through to the quarterfinals, he benefits from a walkover after his opponent was forced to withdraw due to injury. On paper, it may seem uneventful. In reality, at this stage of a Grand Slam, it can be a massive advantage. While other contenders are pushed to their physical and mental limits in grueling 5-set battles that stretch late into the night, Djokovic earns something far more valuable: time. Time to recover, to fine-tune his body, to reset mentally, and to study what lies ahead. Over a 2-week tournament, that margin can be decisive. And perhaps most importantly, this is Melbourne Park, the court where Djokovic feels the most comfortable, where his confidence reaches its highest level, and where he has already lifted the trophy an astonishing 10 times. Few players in tennis history have ever been as dominant at a single Grand Slam as Djokovic has been in Australia.
Last year in his run to the semifinal, lost a set in his opening round match to Basavaredi, lost a set to Faria in the second round, also lost that set to Alcaraz in the quarter. So he went into that semifinal match in much different position than he is this year. Jim was talking about it. Absolutely huge for him to be able to kind of get through pretty easily now to a quarterfinal. As you said, has a few days off and just get ready to go for these last 3 matches if he can do it.
Potentially easy into a semifinal, knowing the numbers that he has against those two guys. Of the 3, Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, who stood out the most to this point?
Tennis-wise, I mean, they were exceptional up until Sinner got threatened in that last match, and he was sort of out on his feet. But that aside, they've all looked great. I mean, I'd probably lean towards Carlos and Novak, because I think Novak's been playing just a hair more aggressive than we've seen him in the past. Last year, Lindsay, when he lost a couple of those sets, he's looked uberly aggressive. I think that's what he needs against a Sinner and Alcaraz. And Carlos has just been a blast to watch. So, but again, they need to be tested, which I think is...
Still, this campaign has been far from perfect. Djokovic has not cruised through the tournament without resistance. There have been moments of visible frustration, matches where the tension was evident, and stretches where he appeared uncharacteristically stressed. At one point, emotions boiled over during an on-court incident that pushed the boundaries of what is acceptable, briefly putting him at risk of serious consequences. These moments serve as a reminder that even for one of the greatest competitors the sport has ever seen, the pressure of expectation never disappears, especially when every match carries the weight of history.
Novak was an inch away from not being in this competition anymore. And now all of a sudden he's got a walkover and he has a fresh body. He hasn't had this fresh a body this deep in his slam and I don't know how long. He almost got default. He almost hit a person again.
Yeah, the ball kid on the left side of the net from his side, he received
slapped
a ball and slapped it to the left, and which he apologized for.
It's not he should be kicked out, he's horrible, or he got lucky, whatever it is. I've been petulant on the court. I could very easily have made a decision where I hit someone and got defaulted. Very, 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 very easily. And also, I would have known that I messed up. Once you make an action and do something and put yourself in position. So I mean, everyone was super pissed because in 2020, when he got defaulted at the US Open, because he did the same thing. And this one at Australia, like, just think about this. The one in Australia, to me, was way worse. He was looking forward. Like, the one in the US Open, he hit it backwards.
He hit it backwards, right?
I mean, it's a 1 in a million shot that it hits someone in the throat. Like, I've done what he did at the US Open 1,000 times. This one where he pulls it and slaps it and and it hits a ball kid, like, that would have been, but you put yourself in position to have a judgment levied on you. Very unlucky at the US Open. Like, it wasn't as if it was full of malice. There was no malice involved at the US Open. I don't think there was malice involved here. Were they both regrettable and probably stupid? Yeah, we've all been stupid. He got unlucky at the US Open, and everyone who was pissed, they're saying about someone saying like he should have been kicked out, which he should now say, oh, he got lucky here and he's lucky he didn't get kicked out.
Which he said, I got lucky.
100%.
I was lucky there.
100%. One of the differences, one of the main things with the Open from 5-6 years ago at this point, I felt bad for him because, like I said, we've all done this thing, right? We've all hit a ball, slapped the ball around. We all have. He left without doing press and just left.
In 2020.
Correct. This time he went in, and if I've said this before in the show, if someone goes in and said, it's my fault, There are no excuses. I need to be better. I messed up. I'm sorry. What are we going to say? It's very different than 2020. That was my main point of the only thing that I could probably disagree with was you make a huge mistake. There's this huge controversy. You got to go take the heat. You don't just leave, right? This time he went in and he took the heat. I was stunned. Like watching it back, I'm like, oh my God, it almost happened again. And this one was worse, but I am happy that like he's not kicked out of the tournament. To barely miss that, that's an instant default, especially given the track record, right? Instant default. Like there's no umpire that doesn't default him for hitting the side ball kid, not the back one. The back one is like, honestly, 2020 is way more forgivable. Way more forgivable. He's lucky, and then Menchik, so he's like, all of a sudden he goes from I'm almost defaulted to I'm in the quarters with a fresh body.
The challenge facing Djokovic is greater than ever because the margins at the top of men's tennis have never been thinner. Rallies are longer, the pace is faster, and the physical demands are relentless. Most significantly, the opponents across the net are younger, stronger, and completely fearless. The 2026 Australian Open field is stacked with elite talent. Carlos Alcaraz remains in the draw, playing explosive, aggressive tennis, blending raw power with creativity, and looking every bit like the future of the sport. Jannik Sinner, the defending champion, has been calm, efficient, and brutally consistent, dismantling opponents with quiet precision. These are not players who step onto Rod Laver Arena intimidated by Djokovic's reputation. They have grown up watching him and believing he can be beaten. That shift in mindset is critical. Respect is still there, but fear is gone, and belief at this level can change everything.
Playing against Novak is always challenging, especially here, which he won many times, and he knew pretty well the conditions. He's feeling good. He never lost a set, and he had the chance, to rest for a few days. And I think at this age, I think he was happy about it. For sure, facing his character, his status as a player, as a champion as it is, the way he turned around sometimes from difficult situation, raising his level and never escaping from a match. That's the two things I guess that always Novak does. The thought that I have and the mentality that I have, to put on the court next match against Nole is probably that one. Try to go for winning the match and not playing the match.
And yet, history warns against counting Novak Djokovic out at Melbourne Park. Time and again, he has proven that experience matters most when the stakes are highest. His understanding of 5-set matches is unmatched. He knows when to conserve energy, when to absorb pressure, and when to strike. In tie-breaks and decisive moments, Djokovic has repeatedly shown an ability to raise his level when others tighten. Tactically, he remains one of the most intelligent players the sport has ever seen. He reads patterns, adapts mid-match, and systematically breaks down even the most powerful and athletic opponents. Beyond the court, something else has shifted as well. Even Australian media and fans, once openly hostile toward Djokovic, are beginning to show renewed respect. Some commentators have gone as far as to suggest that his legacy at the Australian Open deserves formal recognition because of what he has achieved here. Love him or hate him, Novak Djokovic's dominance in Melbourne is undeniable, and as long as he remains in the draw, the title conversation still runs through him.
Years ago when I lost to Sinner, I said what? Sorry?
You said after you were shocked with your level, and someone asked you, is it age? And you said you didn't know, but you hoped not. And I'm wondering, with 2 years of hindsight, was it?
If I can recall well, I was quite flat on the court. First couple of sets were quite easy, going his way, and I was probably just shocked or surprised with the way I felt on the court in a way I wasn't able to keep up with him and in the semis of my favorite tournament, but yeah, I guess that's all I can say in reference to that particular match. Age-wise, I think that on a given day when I'm feeling good physically and mentally, when I'm playing well, I can challenge anybody, and I still believe I can beat all of them. If that's not the case, I wouldn't be here. That's rest assured that I wouldn't be here for sure. So I know as well that in case I get to face Sinner, that will be semifinals, and the deeper in the tournament, obviously, the more energy I spend, and I don't know how my body's going to react. Last year, 3 out of 4 slams, it wasn't great. I didn't feel great playing them. Him and Alcaraz in the latter stages, but hopefully that can change. And I think if there's, probably best chance here, because it's the beginning of the season and my body's still, fresher than what it would be in maybe some other parts of the season.